guys, I'm Dr. Phoenix and welcome to another episode of my Fit 411, and I'm coming to you today from my lawn. I decided to take today's video outside, take it out of the gym. I mean, it's a beautiful summer's day out, so I figured we'd get some fresh air and some green around us for today's Fit 411 topic, which is how to eat carbs and not gain weight. Excellent video today. I know you guys are going to enjoy it, but first, quick announcement, I am hosting my Fit Beauty giveaway, so you guys head over to my website, drphoenix.com. I'm going to put the link down in the description box below, and I'm going to be picking 2 winners to win some awesome prizes, to win specifically my hair care book, If You Love It, It Will Grow, A Guide to Healthy, Beautiful, Natural Hair. That's Why We Get Fat, my weight loss book, as well as the newest addition to my Fit Beauty shop, Beauty and Body Protein, an awesome healthy hair growth and weight management protein supplement. Good stuff. So if you guys want to get a chance to win all 3 of those, head over to my shop. Be sure to enter after you finish watching this video. Deadline is August 2nd. Winner will be announced August 7th. All right, so now let's get to today's video. And I just got bit by a mosquito, but it's all good because I'm outside. All right, how to eat carbs and not gain weight. This video is especially for you guys who enjoy your carbs. You don't necessarily want to go low carb. You want to be able to have your carbs, but maybe you've heard, these general misconceptions about carbs making you fat. And no, carbs do not inherently make you gain weight or make you fat. It's the type of carbs that you eat that will end up doing that. And also your activity level, because there are tons of people who eat a lot of processed foods and carbs and they don't gain weight because they burn it off. And I'll explain why this is the case and why it's kind of special the way that our bodies break down carbs. So first, let's talk about what carbs are. Now, carbs are a type of macronutrient. There are 3 macronutrients that come in our foods. There's carbs, proteins, fats. And our bodies basically use carbs as a form of energy, and all carbs contain calories. So when we break down carbs, our body's going to break it down into this most simple, basic subunit, and that is sugar. And then our body cells use that sugar for energy. Now, in the case of a person who's relatively active, they end up burning off that sugar or those carbs almost immediately. If you don't burn off the carbs immediately, what ends up happening is your body's got to find a way to store these carbs. So what it does is it ends up storing your carbs in the form of glycogen. Okay, glycogen is a type of storage form for carbohydrates, and everybody has what I like to call a carb tank in their body. Okay, we've got a carb tank where we're filling it up with carbohydrates, and this is where the extra carbs are going. So if you don't burn off your carbs, it goes into your carb tank in the form of glycogen. Now eventually there's going to come a point where you can overflow your tank if you're eating too many carbs and you're not active enough. Okay, you're storing too many carbs, you have a surplus of carbs. Now when it gets to that point where it starts spilling over and you filled over your carb tank, that is when your body starts turning the excess glycogen into fat. Okay, so that is the case where people can get fat or gain weight from eating carbs. It's not just inherently eating carbs, it's when you overflow your carb tank. Okay, now let's talk about the types of carbs, because there's 2 main categories of carbs that I want you guys to know about. There are slow carbs and there are fast carbs. And when I say slow carbs and fast carbs, I'm just referring to the way that our body processes and breaks down these carbs. Like I said, your body's going to break down carbs into sugar, and it does so at different rates depending on the different types of foods that you're eating. And it really doesn't matter where you're getting your carbs from, whether you're getting it from cookies or kale. All carbs are going to be broken down into sugar, but at different rates. So in the case of cookies, for example, this is what we would consider a fast carb. Also a processed carbs. Most fast carbs are processed carbs. These are the foods that you shouldn't be eating most often. So when we eat the cookie, our body breaks it down fast into sugar, and it starts, if you don't burn off those cookies right away, it starts sending those carbs to the carb tank. Okay, those are the fast carbs. In the case of slow carbs, our body actually takes a longer time breaking this down. And the reason why it takes a longer time is because slow carbs tend to also contain fiber. Now, fiber is a type of carb, but it's a special carb because fiber cannot be broken down by our bodies. Our bodies just can't digest fiber. That's why you hear about the great benefits of taking fiber for regularity, for constipation, because the fiber literally just moves through our digestive system undigested. So fiber is also going to slow the breakdown of carbs into sugar, so you're not going to be as likely to fill up your carb tank as quickly when you eat slow carbs. All right, so let's look at two scenarios right now. We have one person, very, very active individual, and this individual is, I mean, literally exercising every single day. They're like a CrossFit warrior, and they can eat whatever they want, slow carbs or fast carbs, and they never fill up their carb tank because they're constantly burning off the carbs. So this is a case where you're eating carbs, you're eating whatever you want, actually, because there are tons of people out there that can eat cookies and chips and pies and cakes, but because they're so active, they never fill up their carb tank, and their carbs never get turned into glycogen and then never get turned into fat, so they're all good. That's scenario number one, okay? And that's one way you could go about things if you don't want to gain weight and eat carbs. Now we have scenario number two, which is what most people are going to fall into, because a lot of people just aren't as active as they need to be. Or maybe I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a good amount of people just aren't as active as they need to be, and they want to know how to have their carbs and still maintain that basic level of activity that they're doing. They don't want to up their exercise, but they still want to have the carbs too, okay? So they want to have their carbs and eat it too, basically. So in the case of these people, what you need to do is focus on slow carbs. Make your diet more abundant in slow carbs, and try to trim back on the fast carbs. You don't have to eliminate the fast carbs altogether, but you can still have the carbs. And there are tons of healthy foods that contain carbs. I mean, kale has carbs in it, quinoa has carbs in it, tons of foods that have slow carbs. Just focus on those. And if you're going to have the cookies and the faster carbs, you need to have those carbs around the times that you're going to work out. That way you are burning off the carbs before they go into your carb tank, okay? So that's basically how you eat carbs and you don't gain weight. It's really that simple. And you just remember, you have a carb tank. You're constantly going to put carbs in this carb tank if you are not maintaining a certain activity level. So if you know that you're the type of person who can't exercise every single day, or when you do exercise, you're just not exercising intensely enough to burn off those carbs in your carb tank, then you need to modify your diet to where you are eating more slow carbs that are whole foods, that contain abundance of fiber, that are going to not put you in a state where you're constantly filling up your carb tank. And that's how you eat carbs and not gain weight. All right, so I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, like it up. Also be sure to head over to drphoenix.com, sign up for my Fit Beauty giveaway. I can't wait to select 2 of you guys. I'm actually going to be picking 2 winners for my products, and hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, stay fit, stay healthy, stay awesome. I'm Dr. Phoenix, and I will see you again in another episode of my Fit 411 very, very soon. Peace.